How's it going? I'm Chaz with Prince Motorsports. Today I'll be showing you how we unbox the Torot electric dirt bikes. This model is specifically the MX2, and the tools you'll need are a blade, some dikes, and some Allen wrenches. We mostly use a size 5mm Allen. So we'll start off by cutting the tape on the box. Your box will likely come on a pallet, so you'll have some straps to cut off as well. Once you get the box open, the first thing I want you to do is on the side of the box, there's this packet that is taped to the side. I want you to take that out because inside that packet is this blue key that is your owner's manual. And I do not want you throwing that away with the box when you discard the box. So hold on to these. Okay. Also inside the box is your battery charger. Something I like to do is cut the top of this box, and then everything that was in that pouch, just slide in with your battery charger just to keep track of it all. So I'll do that now. We got some paperwork. Fold that and tuck it in there. Owner's manual. Okay, now that's all together. This video is also for my employees, so that's how we like to store everything that stays with the bikes. All right, and then obviously it's best to get some help, but you can also grab it out yourself, or you can cut down the sides of the box. You can cut all the way down to the floor, peel this back, and then you'll be able to roll the bike out. Okay, let me move this box out of the way. We are now done with that. So, assembly is most of the way done, as you can see. The next step will be taking your dikes, cutting the zip ties on the pegs, trash can. Okay, after that, the handlebars are suspended by a zip tie. Whenever you're cutting anything to do with the handlebars, be really cautious not to cut any brake lines. Obviously, that would be very bad. Okay, and then there is some tape on this foam going around the handlebars. I like to use the dikes and just nip at it little by little. You can also use a blade. Again, we're trying to be very careful not to cut anything. You know, you don't want to cut your grip or any cables. Okay, so at this point, we now are going to install the handlebars. So to do so, we'll remove this PVC bar that's in place for shipping purposes. So I'll do that now. This is where your 5mm Allen comes into play. I find it easiest just to sit on the bike. Obviously, I'm over the weight limit, but you know, something like this is okay. I'm not being too rough on the bike. Okay, now let's put these right in my lap. The next one, you can slide that out now, throw it away. Okay, so now the next step will be to remove the front number plate. Front number plate is a 4mm Allen. Set that aside. Okay. While that plate's off, we'll remove this foam. All right. So now, what I'm looking for is that cables are laying pretty good. Mind, you know, the bike's been in the box, they've been out of position, so like this cable right here, it's pulled forward a little bit. Over time, it will relax and come back where it should lay. Today's a very cold day. That's also not helping these cables move. But you'll see when I get the number plate back on that it is going to retain that cable, and it'll give a spot to clip into. Okay, so I'm just going through, getting all 4 of these 5mm bolts in. Okay, so they're in, they're all loose. I'm gonna rotate the handlebars. I'm gonna get my weight off the bike, that way you can see how the bars are gonna sit naturally. Okay, so right there is good. You know, the brake levers are slightly downward. And I think what else I could tell you guys for a point. The second line going across the handlebar is just above the where the gap between the two surfaces of the handlebar risers. So now I'm going to tighten these down. You don't want to just tighten one side all the way down. You'll tighten them about halfway and then jump to the other side. What we're trying to achieve is that the gap on both sides of the handlebar riser is the same. You'll also see that the handlebar has a textured surface right where the handlebar clamps are, and you'll look on the right and left side of the handlebar clamps and just make sure that you're seeing the same amount of textured surface on both sides. So this side here and this side here, we're good. So I'm gonna come in, get this side tightened down. Again, just making sure the gap on both sides here is the same. Torque on these, it's about 9 to 10 foot-pounds for reference. Okay, over on this other side. Okay, so now the handlebars are installed. I'm going to sit back on the bike and we'll be getting the front number plate on. Again, it takes a 4mm Allen. I'll clip in the front brake cable, come up, make sure the bottom of the number plate goes into the front fender. Okay, now I'm just getting the cables where I want them on this side. And take your time, make sure you're not cross-threading anything. Okay. Torque on that would be 6 to 8 foot-pounds. Again, roughly. Okay. So now I'm checking brakes, making sure I got good stopping power. The brakes are adjustable for the rider's hand. You can do so by spinning this dial here. Okay. All right. So now the bike is assembled. We'll test it and make sure it turns on and everything. I've never had an issue where they don't. And if you did, you'll be glad you bought a Torot because they have the best warranty in the game. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, KTM don't even come close when we're talking about customer support and warranty. Torot has a 2-year manufacturer warranty on the engine, battery, frame. So if you ever have any issues, definitely reach out. You can contact us here at Prince Motorsports and we'll get you the help you need. Okay, so I just removed the keys from the handlebars. They're held on by a zip tie right by the kill switch. On the key ring, you'll notice that there's this code here. That is for the app. I'm gonna get the key in the bike. I'm not turning it on yet though. Okay, so it's in the off position. I'm going to come to the rear of the bike, spin this around. Hopefully you can see that. I don't have a cameraman today, it's just on a stand. So the battery is held in by a Velcro strap and gravity as it is angled downward. This is the battery, it's a big lithium battery. Charging port is here on the back side. Whenever you go to put the battery back in, just make sure that rubber bung is properly in place. Okay, I'm gonna reach in here, pull out this foam block. That is for shipping purposes, to make sure that the bike does not turn on. I'm just gonna slide the battery back in. If you've ever owned any other electric dirt bikes, you'll really appreciate this design. I've never had one so user-friendly to get to the battery and be able to remove and everything. Very nice setup by Torot. Okay, so now we got the battery in. I'm gonna turn the key on. Okay, on the throttle side, you'll notice this red button. I'll click that to on, and you'll see we got 3 bars. When it's fully charged, there will be 4 bars. For lithium batteries, it's best to store them at about 75% charge. So that's why the battery indicator shows 75% full, 3 out of 4 bars. Okay, so I'm gonna lift up the back tire, twist the throttle. We got power. All right, I'm gonna turn this back off. I'm gonna show you up here in the front of the bike. Okay, sorry about this, guys. Obviously some technical difficulties. Like I said, do not have my cameraman today. All right, we should be good there. Let's see if I can get this turned down a little bit. Focus here. All right, so I'm gonna lift this bike up for you. Alright, normally I never edit my videos, so this one might warrant some editing, I apologize. Okay, so on the front of the bike, you'll lift up this flap. It's going to be clicked into place. You can get your hand behind it, lift that up, and you'll notice there's a switch in there that says 100% and 50%. So this is the 100% position. Okay, you can hear that's pretty fast. Now I'm going to turn it to 50%. Quite a bit slower. Okay, so we'll leave it in the 50% position, and that's going to be best for a kid that's just got a new bike and wants to get used to it. Obviously, once the rider is used to that power, you can increase it from there. But with it being new to them, I recommend giving it to them in the 50% position, and also downloading the app and confirming you have the power settings where you want them. You can adjust the top speed, you can adjust the throttle response and the battery regen. And so you'll want to set those parameters where you want them before having your kid ride. I'll do a separate video on the Torot app. Another cool feature that Torot has is that when the bike is on, you can remove the key. This is awesome, especially where every electric dirt bike manufacturer seems to be putting the key is right up here. I mean, where a gas cap would be on a gas bike, but when the key is there, if the kid slides forward, that's gonna hurt. And Torot thought about that. On other brands in the past, I've had on my own kids' bikes, I've actually made keys where I've cut them shorter to where they're not sticking up, to prevent that from them hitting that and getting injured that way. But Torot thought about it, so you can remove the key, gives them a nice surface to slide up on if they find themselves in that situation. Obviously, when you charge the bike, you want to turn it off and remove the key when you're charging. Something else to teach your kids when they're riding anytime they get on and off, you want them to hit the red button to turn the bike off, and also to remove their kill tether switch. This is gonna go on their wrist, and this is extremely important because in the event of a crash, turn the bike back on. Okay, in the event of a crash, if the bike falls over on the throttle, I'm gonna hold the throttle open, okay, and it lands on the throttle, you can pull that and it's gonna shut the bike off. Another brand of electric dirt bike actually really injured one of my customers, and it's an American brand, but they don't have kill tethers on them. And he fell over, the bike landed on the throttle, his shins were underneath the back tire, and the bike stayed on and burnt through his jeans, his socks, and his skin all the way to the bone on both legs, all because there's no kill tether. And so make sure your kids wear that, use it. It is a very important safety feature. Yeah, so these Torot electric bikes are awesome. Your kid is gonna be absolutely thrilled, and you guys will make memories that will last a lifetime by riding together. So this is the Torot electric dirt bike line up here. Okay, so right here we have the Torot Trials. They call it the T2. This is the Torot MX2 that you just saw me assemble. Next to it is the MX1. And then on the far end, this is the Trials 1, the T1, okay? Well, I got you here. I'm gonna show you the battery charger, what that looks like, what you can expect to have. Okay, so in that box is obviously the paperwork we slid in there. If you didn't see it at the beginning of the video, this is your owner's manual. It's on a thumb drive. Okay, and then in the box, you get a charger, and it'll come with a USA plug. So after assembling the bike, you'll want to charge it. Again, make sure the power is off when you are charging the bike. Let it get to full, and then take your kid out riding and have a good time. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to bring the camera up closer so you can get a better look at these bikes. Again, I apologize for the video quality today. Did not have a cameraman. So again, so on the left side of your screen, that is the Torot Trials 2. Next bike in is the MX2. You can see that next to the MX1, so that gives you a good size reference. Next to the MX1 is the Trials 1. And what is very cool is, if you want, you can actually get a kit to convert a Trials 1 into an MX1. They have the same frame. See that? So you can get the motocross style seat and plastics and tires and front fender and number plate and put it on this Trials 1, and you will then have an MX1. This is a good option if you're looking to start your kid off with a lower seat height, as you can see here on the Trials 1. Okay. So lots of flexibility with these bikes. I'm gonna roll this one back so you can see it closer to the MX2 side by side. Okay, you can see that lower seat height. . And that same kit is also available for the Trials 2 bike to turn it into an MX2. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, always feel free to call Prince Motorsports. We're based in Arizona, but we ship these bikes all across the USA. And again, I appreciate your time. Bye.